Podsmacked? Now, here's Rob, ready to be Podsmacked. Now, here's Rob Carson.
Hello, I'm sorry I'm running a little late, guys. We have a shortage of vehicles in our household. I had to take my wife to work this morning and bring her home. She was running a little late, and I do apologize because I bust my butt all day and I do a lot of show prep, and I'm given an hour to get this done, and I am grateful for it. But man, there's just no time. There is just no time. Anyway, I'm assuming I don't see me up on the American Patriot right now, but I'm sure we're there. Anyway, welcome to the show. Got a lot of stuff we'll get to. Some political, some not so political on the way here in just a couple of minutes. Hillary Clinton, by the way, I don't know if you know this. Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is taking an 85% pay cut on her political speeches. Did you hear about this today? Sorry. It just makes me happy. It just kind of makes me happy. Hillary Clinton, who's just, evil incarnate. I don't know if you knew this. She actually would bathe in the blood of virgins every morning. Did you know this? To keep herself looking younger because she's really 1,000 years old. Did you know that? Maybe it's just... That's what I heard. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, Hillary Clinton, she's taking a major pay cut because they don't have the ability to sell influence anymore, you see. She is no longer the Secretary of State. She is no longer, whatever. She's not going to be elected again unless it's maybe the dog catcher. Whatever. Anyway, she's speaking at Rutgers, and she's doing a speech at Rutgers, and it is literally going to be, she's getting $25,000. Let me turn on here, Liberty One. Let me turn on Liberty One TV, make sure we're on here. Anyway, she's getting $25,000, which is honestly, you can get, I think you can get like Whitesnake for $25,000. I really think you can get Whitesnake for $25,000. At your bat mitzvah. I think you can do that. So anyway, Hillary Clinton is at $25,000. It just, I love this because she's such, I think she's an evil person. So anyway, some other things going on here. I want to make sure that I am on here. Make sure that we're golden. Something I told you guys about the protest, the gun protests in Washington, D.C., And I said this from the very beginning. I said it from the very beginning. Oh, hello, Deplorable Dan and Matthew, all you guys. Good to see you guys. I have some demographic information on the protests in Washington, D.C. that proves to me and should prove to you, and I've said this for weeks. I heard Rush talking about this today, and I've been talking about this for weeks. This was not an organic protest. It is not an organic protest. This is not about children, all right? It's not about kids. It's not about kids and guns and keeping kids safe. Hi, Penny. Hi, Lorraine. Hi, Gary. Hi, all you guys. Thanks for joining me. Share if you can. Don't you think the colors look good? I think the blue looks kind of good. I know I'm letting my hair go gray here. It's not working too bad. But listen to this, guys. And like I said this was never, ever an organic protest. There's no way that kids in a week, at a school where they're traumatized, where people have been shot and died, where people witness terrible things, there's no way that they could put together a protest movement and book the National Mall in a week. Guys, that's how quickly it took. That's how fast it took. Okay? Here's some demographic information about the March for Our Lives in Washington, D.C. And this is what I said. I said originally, this is about the same people who started with Occupy. They moved on. They took over Black Lives Matter. They moved on to protests during Trump's election, where they'd show up and these, just disrupt things. Then it became the day of the inauguration protests, same people burning limousines and trashing storefronts. And then it became the Women's March, which was a march for women who were pro-abortion, pro-Hillary, and screw everybody else, and also a bunch of radical communist communist and socialist organizations. That's what it was. And that's what the Second Women's March was, and that's what this was. This is taking kids from Parkland High School like David Hogg, who thinks he's smarter than he really is, because he's not being challenged by anybody, except for Laura Ingraham, by the way. And this is what the puppet masters are doing. And little David Hogg and his little friends, and none of the kids who are saying, we'd like the high schools, we want security improved. We want to have maybe armed law enforcement in our schools. They aren't being heard. Also, I might mention these protests took place around the world. How does that make sense? These are the same people who do the May Day protests. They are communist, socialist, radical, anti-American, anti-Second Amendment. That's what it's all about. Kind of sounded like the hokey pokey there, didn't I? That's what it's all about. Right elbow. Okay. Lorraine is here. Hello. Good to have you guys in Linda Rhodes in Idaho. How are you? But Linda, by the way, Idaho, fastest growing population in the country. What's great about Idaho? I think Idaho, I've heard it's lovely. I've never been. So here we go. This is what happened at the protest marches. Protesters at the recent march, 27% of participants of the March for Our Lives had never protested before. Fine. Oh, that's only 27%, by the way. Only about a third of them had contacted an elected official in the last year. That's fine. 12% of people who were new to protesting reported that they were motivated to join the march because of the gun control issue. Sure, whatever. Compared to 60% of the participants with experience protesting. Okay, so there were 60% of the protesting there. They're there to protest the Second Amendment, okay? 79% identified as left-leaning. Okay? And then you've got, listen to this, 89% voted for Hillary Clinton. So these are the same angry women, angry people who are still bitching and moaning, throwing their hands up because Hillary Clinton got her ass handed to her, which, I mean, you'd have to have some big-ass hands. They'd be like, giant. I mean, you're going to have your hand her ass to her. You might even need a front-end loader, little Bobcat maybe. Maybe something a little bigger than Bobcat. Whatever. So between the new protesters and experienced protesters, it looks like a shade under 50% claim to have showed up for gun control. Okay? This, in other words, was much more of a resistance march. Okay? Dana Fisher, sociology professor, who surveyed the marchers, writing a book called An American Resistance. New protesters were particularly disinterested in gun issues, comparatively speaking. 56% of them said they showed up for peace, whatever the hell that is. 42% said they were opposed to Donald Trump. It's the same movement that was going on, like I said, Occupy, then it became the anti-Trump during the campaign, then it became the anti-Trump inaugural day, then it became the women's movement, and all of this crap. And that's what it was. This is anti-Trump, anti-capitalist, anti-American. That's what it is. So this was more about being anti-Trump than being anti-gun. 10% of the marchers, okay, all these kids are coming to Washington, D.C. because they're going to march for lives so that kids in schools can be protected and all of this stuff. 10% were under 18. Listen to this. The average marcher age was 49 years old. 49 years old. Overwhelmingly female, 70% educated. Of course, they got a degree. 72% having a BA. Middle-aged professional women. That's what this is all about. That's what it's all about. By the way, the NRA, their donations have increased threefold since this whole thing started happening. Gun rights supporters always double down after mass shootings. That's what it is, because people are afraid their guns are going to be taken away. And this is the thing also, and this is where it gets really ugly, because this has really become vitriolic and awful. This has really become bad. I'm being told, because I'm an NRA member, we are being told, because we support the Second Amendment, there is blood on our hands. We didn't do the effing shooting, you douchebags. We didn't do the effing shooting. All right? There was a crazed shooter, non-NRA member, who should have 70 times. There were 70 times that authorities were called, that the school was told, that the FBI was told. 70 times. They all missed it. Oh, did you hear the good news on the economy? U.S. filings for unemployment benefits fell last week to the lowest level since 1973. Well, that. You know, for a guy who's just insane. Remember 2 months ago, CNN spent an entire day talking about Donald Trump having, this pisses me off. One day, I remember watching all day, Donald Trump had dementia, Donald Trump had some sort of whatever. They spent the whole effing day on it. And now we've got him showing the world, giving the world a little what for, giving the country a little bit what for. Because if crazy can do this to the economy, then what happened to the smartest man in the history of the planet, Barack Obama? Why couldn't he figure it out? Do you think this is all a happy accident? Jobless claims decreased by 12,000 to 230,000. Continuing claims rose, blah, 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 blah. Here's the deal. U.S. jobless claims declined to the lowest level since January 1973. You know why? Because it's working. Okay? Because it's working. Showing the world. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing a little noise in my background here. Hold on one second. Let me kill my feed here. Not my feed. I'm just going to kill the sound here. Okay. But, Donald Trump must be... He must be the Forrest Gump of presidents, right? I mean, he must be the Forrest Gump of presidents because he has stumbled accidentally into a unbelievable economy. Unbelievable economy. Debbie, happy accident, absolutely. Well, yeah, I know what happy accidents are, by the way. My wife and I are not going to have any of those. John Kruger, how are you, brother? Michigan deplorable. Glad to have you here, my friend. Marty Lawrence, good to you. I'm sorry to abridge the broadcast tonight, guys. I really am. I was running late. I had to go get my wife. And, oh, did you hear the news? Did you hear the news that the Pope says that hell doesn't exist? I tweeted a couple times and I shared some stuff. The Pope clearly has never been to Detroit, East St. Louis, Toledo, Cleveland, Baltimore, Gary, Indiana. I also said, the Pope says that hell doesn't exist. I said there's no clearer evidence that he's never been married. So anyway. Oh, by the way, Roseanne's revival. I didn't get a chance to see it. I haven't seen it yet. Hollywood supposedly, the headlines are Hollywood is doing some soul searching about why Roseanne is so successful. No, they're not going to do any soul searching. They're going to continue marching the bandwagon, hating Donald Trump, hating Republicans, leftist politicians, leftist issues and all this crap. And by the way, Roseanne is not a conservative show. It just has Roseanne Barr, who is a pro-Trump character, and she is pro-Trump. And I thought it was kind of interesting today that she said, of all the things she could say, Donald Trump called her. And he said, congratulations on the ratings success. And you've got all these spoiled, entitled athletes who will not appear at the White House after they've won the world championship, the Super Bowl or the whatever. And Roseanne Barr, and I've never been a fan of hers. She's always been very left-leaning. And she said, I was honored. I was honored. Can you believe that? Can I mention my sponsor real quick here, guys? Pit Barrel Cookers. I've got two of these bad boys. If you are, and listen, Father's Day is going to be coming up here, guys. Also, just grilling season. If you've got a rusty old whatever in the back and you've got an old gas grill or whatever, consider buying this state-of-the-art, glorious cooker. What it is there, it's that the one on the left there is the classic. It's 18 and a half inches across. What you do is you take this little, this charcoal chimney, you light it, you dump it in the bottom there in that little tray there on the bottom left. You put it in there and you hang the meats. Use these hooks. And then you put the lid on it and you walk away. That's what you do, man. That's what you do. If you want to smoke it, you add some chips in there. You can add some, you don't have to wrap it in aluminum foil and all that crap. Just pecan or hickory or whatever. You throw it on those coals and just let it go. You can also use the grill grate there and just make it into like a barbecue grill. So smoker, slow cooker, grill, all in one package, beautifully made by Noah and Amber Glanville. Noah is a veteran from Iraq, and they built this and all of that stuff. See all that food on the right there? I made that. I made all that. So I know what I'm talking about. LibertyOneTV.com/cooker. LibertyOneTV.com/cooker. The classic is $300, which is worth every damn penny, and you're going to have it the rest of your life. The junior is $229. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. You want to hear some funny stories now? You want to hear some funny stories? Hold on. A couple of funny stories in the news. Did you hear a couple of things that I thought were interesting? Guy in Virginia promised his wife that he would stop buying scratch-off tickets. Have you heard this? Oliver Davis Jr. and I played the lottery. When it gets big, I'm not going to bother with $35 million. So wife said, stop buying tickets. He decides he's going to go out and buy a couple more. Won $4 million.
I came yesterday to go to the Food Lion to pick up a few things and
go to the Food Lion. Have you been to Food Lion lately? Dear God.
And I just kept having this feeling of this itch that says, you're a winner, you're a winner, you're a winner. And
Shut up!
I was still hesitant about coming in because I told my wife I wouldn't do it. I promised her I wouldn't do it. But so I stopped in to say hello to Herschel because I used to come here all the time. And
old Herschel at the Food Lion. My God, he's a great guy.
And so while I was in there, I saw that ticket. And I said, Herschel, let me get one of those. He looked at it. He gave it to me. And I was scratching it the whole time thinking, my wife, I promised her I wouldn't do this
anymore. Gonna kick his ass.
And so I kept scratching, and I said, I'll just do it this once. And when I got down to the bottom and the 40 matched the 40 top, I was like, okay, probably $30, $60. But when I scratched it out and saw those numbers, kind of lost my breath a little bit. And I gave it to Herschel. I said, can you tell me, is this for real?
$4 million.
Great. Just knowing that I had the opportunity to be a blessing, retire my wife, and be a blessing to my family. That's the greatest feeling that anyone can have.
I say that too. Yeah. Most I ever won was $21, and that was like 25 years ago. Oh, did you hear about the guy who? Well, I'll just say, guy calls 911. He's Jesus Christ. I don't know if you knew that. Did you hear this? Guy in North Carolina broke into a Pizza Hut, calls 911. Apparently, he is Jesus Christ. Oh, maybe it makes sense. Where do you suppose Jesus would break into? You're going to have wine. You're going to have fish, and you're going to have bread. I don't know if Pizza Hut's the best place. Wine, fish, and bread, maybe Bonefish Grill. Wine, fish, and bread, Red Lobster, maybe. I don't know. Here's the 911 call of this guy, and listen to the dispatcher, and he's talking to Jesus Christ on the phone.
Highpoint 911, what is your emergency? Yes, this is Jesus Christ, and I just broke into the Pizza Hut. I broke the window in. I'm here. Jesus is here now. He's back to earth.
I think that pan pizza in its original form was a gift from God.
All right, and so you don't work there? No, I just broke in, had a pizza. I'm Jesus.
I just had a pizza. I'm Jesus. He could probably take one of those little pan pizzas and just make it enough for 1,000 people to eat. You know what I'm saying?
What was your name again? My name is Jesus. What's your last name, Jesus? Christ. Okay. And what do you look like? I look like Jesus. What else do I supposed to look like? Why'd you do that? Because I'm Jesus. I can do whatever I want. We're tired of Judases on this earth. We're going to clean this earth up. So what are you up to? Where do you live at? I don't. I'm from heaven. How'd you get over to the pizza?
They don't deliver. They don't deliver to heaven, I guess. It's like, what was the address there? Yeah, you're outside of our area.
I'm from heaven, sir.
Okay. And did you break a front window?
Yeah, I broke the door window, sir.
And you eat a pizza?
Yeah. Had a Mountain Dew.
Had a Mountain Dew. Bravo. That has got to be, I mean, come on. That's got to be one of the best damned 911 calls you've ever heard in your life. That's almost years ago. There was a guy who he hit a deer and he wanted the police to call the ambulance. That has got to be. I got to hear a little bit more of that. Let's hear it again. Come on.
911. What is your emergency?
God.
Yes, this is Jesus Christ, and I just broke into the Pizza Hut. I broke the window in. I'm here. Jesus is here now. He's back to earth.
All right. And so you don't work there?
No, I just broke in. Had a pizza. I'm Jesus.
And what was your name again?
Yeah. By the way, we need a table for 12. Jesus and 12 guys, 12 apostles, please. Can we have just a 13 top if you wouldn't mind?
My name is Jesus.
What's your last name, Jesus?
Christ.
Okay. And what do you look like?
Oh, dear God.
I look like Jesus.
I look like Jesus. I look like I'm wearing sandals. I got a beard. I mean, in Berkeley, you couldn't tell I was Jesus.
Supposed to look like.
Why'd you do that?
Oh, dear God.
I'm Jesus. I can do whatever I want. We're tired of Judases on this earth. We're going to clean this earth up.
Oh.
So what are you up to?
Well, where do you live at?
I don't. I'm from heaven.
I don't live.
How'd you get over to the Pizza Hut?
I'm from heaven, sir.
Okay. And did you break a front window?
Yeah, I broke the door window, sir.
Jesus is going in the front door. All right, Jesus is going in the front door. That's all there is to it. Dear God in heaven. Oh, dear God in heaven. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Oh, I'm trying to decide what I want to wrap things up with tonight. I want to do FBI because it's an abridged. Oh, listen to this. I know we're kind of straying off of the political. That's cool though. This is a fascinating phone call from an airplane. Two airplanes actually who saw the same UFO sighting. And I'm not saying that I'm a conspiracy theorist, but whatever. Do I believe we've been visited? I don't know. I don't know if we have or not. But they apparently, and this is in over Arizona. Arizona, isn't Roswell in Arizona? There were communications released by the Federal Aviation Administration. I want you to listen to these pilots. Listen, Liz, give me some love, baby. Give me some love. Debbie says too much holy water on the guy. I don't think it was holy water. I think it's holy fire water. Listen to this UFO call coming from an airliner talking to, air traffic control. This is interesting.
Anybody above us that passed us like 30 seconds ago?
We're 71 Papa Golf negative.
He says above us about 30 seconds ago, passed over us.
Something. A UFO. Yeah.
American 1095, let me know if you see anything pass over you here in the next 15 miles.
Listen.
You know if anything passes over?
American 1095, affirmative. We had an aircraft in front of you that's 37 that reported something passed over him, and we didn't have any targets. So
crazy.
Just let me know if you see anything pass over you.
How does something pass over two airplanes, 5,000 feet above, both of them, and they don't see it on the radar?
I don't know what it was. It wasn't an airplane, but it passed us going the opposite direction. Hey, it's American 1095. Yeah, something just passed over us. Don't know what it was, but it's at least 3,000 feet above us. Yeah, it passed right over the top of us.
Crazy.
American 1095, thank you.
Yeah, center Delta 1755, checking in 320.
And Delta 1755, Albuquerque Center. And American 1095, can you tell if it was in motion or just hovering?
Make it out whether it was a balloon or whatnot, but it was just really either flight or had a big reflection on it several thousand feet above us going opposite directions.
Okay, Roger. American 535, cross Tucson at a maintained flight level 260.
Cross Tucson, flight level 260, American 535.
American 1618.
Okay, so what it was two planes, two stories, flying in the opposite direction quickly. Wasn't a balloon. I don't know, whatever. I'm not a big conspiracy theorist and all that stuff, but I am fascinated by the universe and whatnot. Time for me to go, guys. God bless you. I'm sorry I was late. If you get a chance to check out the T-shirt line, there they are. We've got 75 designs. tpublic.com/conservatees. tpublic.com/conservatees. Let's not also forget Pit Barrel Smokers. liberty1.com/cooker. Pit Barrel Cookers. God bless them. They're glorious. Tomorrow night, I'll be joined by a special guest in studio. Thanks for joining me, guys. As always, God bless you. Thank you for listening. Have a glorious night, and I will see you tomorrow. And I won't be late. All right? See you then, guys.
Thanks for listening to The Rob Carson Show. Friend him on Facebook at Carson Show, on Twitter at Rob Carson, and on Instagram, I think Facebook and Twitter are enough for now. We'll see you soon.